Says that Ryan always plays the nice guy, but the truth is he ran Preserve as a tyrant.
$300,000. That's what one employee allegedly received, not for justice, but for silence. For a lifetime gag order, never to speak about the toxic meltdown Ryan Reynolds orchestrated behind Blake Lively's dreamy lifestyle brand, Preserve. He acted like CFO, creative director, and king of the castle, mercilessly mocking people, rewriting everything, then blaming staff for delays. This wasn't mismanagement, it was calculated, unchecked arrogance. The carefully crafted public image of Hollywood's golden couple is shattering, revealing a pattern of manipulation and intimidation buried for a decade. The truth about Preserve and the methods used to keep it quiet are finally exploding into the light. This is an unraveling of epic proportions, a system built on fear and hush money.
Preserve, there was a big expose in Daily Mail.
Behind Preserve's rustic charm, the reality was a catastrophic disaster. Former staff didn't just call it disorganized, they branded it a horrible place to work. What remained hidden was Ryan Reynolds wasn't merely a supportive husband. He was the unchallenged dictator of the entire operation, running it into the ground. Employees recall him storming in, tearing apart completed work, then vanishing, leaving chaos. This wasn't just poor leadership, it was a deliberate strategy to exert absolute control, creating an environment where no one could succeed without his destructive interference. The glossy public image hid an internal nightmare, carefully concealed from public view for years.
There were times people didn't get paid for weeks, but Ryan always made sure his people got what they needed. Everyone else, disposable.
The true depths of the toxicity are disturbing. Reports from 2014 describe Ryan allegedly yelling at staff, cruelly mocking their mental health struggles, and astonishingly, forcing some employees to take medication just to endure the hostile environment. This wasn't just a tough boss, it was a deeply personal and invasive form of control, weaponizing vulnerabilities. The narrative of Ryan Reynolds as the Hollywood sweetheart now directly conflicts with these chilling accounts of manipulation and unchecked arrogance. He played the part of a charming celebrity while quietly dismantling lives behind closed doors, creating unimaginable suffering for his team.
Them even sued Blake Lively. 3 out of 8 employees sued her.
The financial manipulation within Preserve was equally damning. While Ryan ensured his inner circle, his chosen ones, received salaries promptly, everyone else was treated as utterly disposable. Some employees languished for up to 3 months, chasing basic pay, while junior staff struggled. This wasn't merely a cash flow problem, it was a calculated, systematic pattern of favoritism and financial abuse, designed to maintain loyalty among a select few while holding the rest of the team hostage. This stark disparity revealed a core rottenness at the heart of the company's operations, painting a grim picture of its internal ethics and leadership.
And they were paid hush money, apparently, and Leslie Sloan, Blake Lively's publicist, and Ryan Reynolds' publicist, helped bury the.
As Preserve imploded, Blake Lively publicly faced the music, taking the fall for its spectacular failure. However, insiders now reveal a different story. Ryan Reynolds was the puppet master. He was the true problem, pulling all the strings, making critical decisions, and ultimately dismantling the company from within. Blake was the brand's public face, gracing press tours, but behind the scenes she was reportedly a ghost. It was Ryan who controlled meetings, dictated direction, and steered the ship directly into the ground. Her publicist, along with Ryan's, then allegedly worked tirelessly to bury the truth, painting a false narrative of simple business failure.
We all know that too. So Radar Online is referring to a story written by Rob Shooter on Substack where he says that Blake barely showed up.
The collapse of Preserve wasn't just a business failure, it escalated into serious legal battles. Astonishingly, 3 out of 8 full-time employees, nearly half the team, ended up suing Blake Lively. Yet these lawsuits never saw the light of a courtroom. They vanished quietly, leaving no public trace. This wasn't merely a legal settlement, it was a strategic disappearance. The goal wasn't justice or resolution for the wronged employees. It was pure silence, clean exits, and absolutely no headlines. This elaborate cover-up ensured the messy truth remained hidden, paving the way for a carefully constructed narrative of a simple failed brand rather than a problematic implosion.
Where he acted like the CFO, the creative director, and king of the castle.
Those vanished lawsuits were more than just swept under the rug. They were actively buried with harsh money. At least one employee reportedly received a staggering $300,000, not for mistreatment, but explicitly to never utter a single word about what truly transpired behind the scenes. This wasn't a standard legal precaution. These non-disclosure agreements were deployed as weapons, engineered to permanently silence people. The employee allegedly possessed a detailed paper trail, emails, texts, meeting recordings, the kind of evidence that could irrevocably tarnish reputations. This hefty sum was a price for silence, ensuring the truth stayed locked away from public scrutiny.
God help you if you disagreed with him. Ryan would breeze in, criticize everyone's work, then disappear, one employee recalled. He'd mock people, rewrite everything, then blame us for...
The use of NDAs wasn't an isolated incident, it was a systematic tactic. Multiple staffers have since anonymously confirmed that these muzzle orders were a standard part of the offboarding process, especially if anyone dared to hint at raising concerns about Ryan's conduct. If you mentioned the toxic environment, favoritism, or financial manipulation, you were swiftly reminded of the terms, push harder, and a confidential resolution was quietly arranged. This meant take the money, disappear, and never speak. The detailed paper trails, including alleged evidence of emotional manipulation and verbal harassment, were effectively erased from the public record.
Blake would let him. I think this sounds pretty familiar, right?
One of Ryan's most baffling power moves was the sudden appointment of Blake's brother, Eric Lively, as Preserve's creative director. Staffers were utterly stunned. Eric had absolutely zero background in branding or creative direction, having been off the business radar for years. Insider reports suggest this decision came directly from Ryan, the only plausible explanation. Ryan desperately wanted someone he could completely control, someone who would never challenge his volatile authority. Eric seemingly fit that mold perfectly, becoming another pawn in Ryan's game of absolute control, further destabilizing an already struggling company.
Eric was hired as Preserve creative director, as decision staffers believe Reynolds pushed for. So they're saying here that Ryan was the one who actually got Eric the job. I don't know. I'm guessing Blake had something to say there too.
For nearly a decade, Preserve remained a failed brand with no public scandal attached. Despite collapsing in under a year, not a single formal expose was published until 2024, a full 10 years after its demise. By then, Blake and Ryan had successfully rebranded themselves as America's favorite couple, their toxic past conveniently forgotten. This level of information control doesn't happen organically, it is meticulously orchestrated. While the world watched Ryan Reynolds deliver jokes and Deadpool memes, former employees were silenced with 5- and 6-figure hush deals, meticulously covering up a corporate environment built on fear, favoritism, and ruthless intimidation.
Things were done.
And I feel like that's exactly how we've been seeing him, what he's been doing on It Ends With Us as well.
In a twist of stunning irony and blatant hypocrisy, Blake Lively is now portraying herself as a victim of workplace toxicity in her current legal battles with director Justin Baldoni. Her legal team's filings describe her as a woman forced to endure a hostile and unsafe environment. The shocking part? This is the exact same language former Preserve employees used to describe her and Ryan's own company. The only crucial difference is those employees never got the chance to tell their stories. Every time someone tried, a check arrived, a contract was signed, and a name vanished from the timeline, erasing their truth entirely.
Speculating that he is the mastermind behind all of this, the takeover of the movie. I don't know. I think they work as a team, but this is kind of revealing.
The cracks in the meticulously crafted facade began to show with Caitlin Olsen's public support for Blake Lively in the Baldoni lawsuit. In December 2024, Caitlin called Blake kind, lovely, honest, and generous. Yet, just 3 months earlier, she admitted meeting Blake exactly twice, once at an award show and briefly at a Wrexham match. This glaring inconsistency immediately raised red flags. How does someone become a character witness in a high-stakes Hollywood legal mess for a friend they've met only twice? The timeline simply does not add up, revealing a deeper orchestrated play for public perception and narrative control.
Source claimed, I know someone who got $300,000 just to sign on an NDA and never speak about what happened.
This sudden, unconvincing show of support isn't new for the couple. A 2023 Substack piece by Rob Shooter bluntly described the inner workings of Blake and Ryan's PR machine as scripted alliances. He specifically detailed how they employ soft press and strategically curated relationships to push specific narrative arcs. In the Baldoni situation, it appears they activated this same blueprint, drag a public figure in for credibility, regardless of genuine friendship. It's a calculated manipulation of public perception, using convenient names to echo pre-approved sentiments and manage any emerging scandal, a common tactic in their playbook.
Also in the Substack article, it says here that they sold the world this fairy tale marriage and wholesome business image. But behind the scenes, it was all smoke and mirrors, and Ryan was holding.
Sources close to Ryan Reynolds revealed in January 2025 that his PR firm maintains a full list of safe names willing to issue vague statements of support if needed. Caitlin Olsen was reportedly on that list. An anonymous insider told the Daily Mail that Caitlin didn't even know half the details of Blake's allegations but felt obligated to issue a public statement due to shared investments and intense social pressure. The investment? Rob McElhenney, Caitlin's husband, co-owns Wrexham Football Club with Ryan Reynolds, creating undeniable business ties. Her loyalty was bought, not earned through friendship, a transactional arrangement.
And while Blake is now positioning herself as a victim of workplace toxicity in her legal battle against It Ends With Us, director Justin Baldoni Insider says she and Ryan ran their own dysfunctional empire and used money to make it all disappear.
Industry analysts and multiple Hollywood publicists now openly describe supporting Blake and Ryan as a career safety move. With ongoing lawsuits swirling, being on Team Reynolds is seen as the safest bet to stay out of crosshairs. One unnamed executive chillingly likened it to the new Scientology: smile, say nice things, and stay on their good side. The alternative? Risk being completely excluded from the powerful social and financial circles they dominate within Hollywood. It's not genuine friendship, it's a cold, calculated professional insurance policy, securing one's standing in a cutthroat industry.
People were paid off, one source claimed. I know someone who got $300,000 just to sign on an NDA.
What makes Caitlin Olsen's friendship with Blake Lively even more suspicious is the utter lack of visual evidence. In the age of Instagram, where Hollywood friendships live and breathe on social media, there isn't a single photo to be found online of Caitlin and Blake together. No selfies, no red carpet moments, no dinner shots, no behind-the-scenes Wrexham candids, not even a blurry phone pic. It's as if this entire friendship was conjured out of thin air, designed solely to serve a legal purpose. The absence of digital proof speaks volumes, further eroding the credibility of the couple's narrative.
Follow, unfollow, block each other to show the world where they stand. Something we learned when Justin Baldoni was blocked.
The digital landscape provides further telling clues. Sophie Turner, who once publicly praised Blake Lively after her postpartum body reveal, has now unfollowed Blake on Instagram. This isn't just tabloid fluff. In celebrity circles, an unfollow is a definitive statement, a clear signal. What's even more telling, Sophie still follows Ryan Reynolds. This stark contrast suggests a deliberate distancing from Blake, while maintaining a connection to Ryan, indicating a calculated move in the shifting sands of Hollywood alliances. It's a quiet exit, but in the loud world of social media, it screams volumes about underlying tensions and loyalties.
He blocked me, and his publicists were replying like, oh my god, is he 12? What's happening? And the reason he did that was because at that point there were no SH allegations. There was this list of points that he was supposed to, that they blackmailed Justin Baldoni to sign off.
The unfollow pattern extends beyond Sophie Turner. Blake Lively, despite shared private dinners with Taylor Swift, Brittany Mahomes, and Travis Kelce, does not follow Travis Kelce on Instagram. Even during the peak publicity of Taylor and Travis's relationship during the Super Bowl season, Blake was conspicuously silent, offering no likes or shoutouts. This deliberate digital cold shoulder, given their supposed shared social circle, is highly unusual. In an industry where public interactions are meticulously curated, Blake's silence and lack of digital engagement speak much louder than any public statement, hinting at a cautious distance being maintained.
Is interviewed in Us Weekly, and she said she only met Blake twice. So that they're such close friends.
A quiet exodus of A-listers from the Reynolds Lively brand is reportedly underway. A source close to WME, which manages several prominent figures tied to the couple, told Radar Online that celebrities are actively distancing themselves for compelling legal and reputational reasons. There's a palpable fear of subpoenas, a deep apprehension of association, and frankly, a strong desire to avoid being dragged into a drama that isn't their own. The orbit of Ryan and Blake has become legally radioactive, making proximity a liability rather than a privilege. This collective retreat signals a significant shift in Hollywood's perception of the couple.
Hang out with them both more, and then she added at the end, "I love Ryan." She didn't say that she loves Blake.
The legal risks are becoming undeniably tangible. A March 2025 leak revealed that at least 2 former friends of the couple were contacted by lawyers for background inquiries. While neither individual was named, both immediately began unfollowing Blake on social platforms that very same week. This is no mere coincidence. It powerfully illustrates the chilling effect of legal investigations on high-profile social circles. When lawyers start asking questions, even casual associations become dangerous, prompting swift, silent severing of digital ties to avoid any entanglement in the deepening controversy surrounding the couple. The silence is deafening.
On her. And that's the thing that I think everyone starts suspecting now every time someone comes out to support them. What do they have on them? What did they threaten them with?
Even the carefully curated image around Wrexham Football Club is showing cracks. The early days of Ryan Reynolds' ownership saw high-profile stars like David Beckham, Dwayne Johnson, and even Emma Stone showing enthusiastic support. Fast forward to 2025 and the celebrity lineup looks suspiciously civilian. No A-listers, no Instagram stories from high-profile accounts, just corporate partners and soccer fans. The red carpet wasn't simply rolled out, it was rolled up. This stark shift in celebrity endorsement underscores a broader distancing, suggesting that even brand affiliations are now being reevaluated in light of mounting legal and reputational risks.
I'm just putting it out there because I think, why would you put yourself out there? At that point, though, I have to say, in December, this was before Justin Baldoni had come out and countersued Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds and Leslie Sloan. So I think that at this point, it was much safer to come out and support Blake Lively.
The timing of these unfollows, the sudden silence from once vocal friends, and the changing support at Wrexham are simply too sharp, too wide, and too loud to be dismissed as mere coincidences. These are strategic, quiet exits. When lawsuits start flying and carefully constructed reputations begin to crack under intense scrutiny, no one in Hollywood wants to be the next name dragged into headlines purely by proximity. This isn't about friendship or loyalty anymore. It's about self-preservation in an industry where image is everything, and association with scandal can be a career-ending liability. The writing is clearly on the wall for all to see.
Also, there's not one single photo that I could find online of Caitlyn and Blake together. So the post where Blake praised the two of them last week, like, I love these guys and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no. You don't really, because you don't really know Caitlyn because you met her probably a couple of times and they were too busy back then in September. Then I'm thinking like now.
So what does this all mean? Is Hollywood finally done protecting the carefully curated image of Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively? Or are we merely scratching the surface of something far darker, a deeper system of control and manipulation? What these buried truths and calculated silences reveal isn't just a failed brand or a PR mistake. It's an entire ecosystem built to silence abuse and control narratives, meticulously wrapped in lifestyle branding and sold to the world with a dazzling smile. The curtain is finally being pulled back, and the true cost of their carefully guarded secrets is beginning to emerge for all to see.